everyone, it's Melody Lane, and before I start my video, I just want to introduce you to this new channel, Between Crafts. This is George and Ken from Craftsway 2, and me in the middle. We're going to be showing you some shopping hauls and us out shopping, maybe out to eat, maybe on some fun trips. We're going to show everything except for the crafting, all the stuff that happens in between. There's gonna be lots of laughter. We already have 592 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, you'll see this. Click that, and then click this little gear, and click send me updates, and save. So you'll get updated for all our videos. It's gonna be fun. Okay. Back to why we're here. I made this card in Cricut Design Space. I did not design this card. I did not come up with it. Somebody in my Patreon group on Facebook asked me if I could make this card in Design Space and showed me a few pictures. So I said, sure. And so this is what I came up with. This is going to be like an S-fold card. So there is a score line right here and a score line here. This is 5.5 tall, and it will end up being 4 1/4 wide. So these will fold. These are tabs. There's 2 layers. There's actually a tiny shadow here. This will be cut out. This is the top layer. That will cut out. And this top layer will also have cutouts. That goes just around there, so you see it just a little bit. And then these flags will be in there. So today I'm going to show you how to put this together, but we need to add words to these tags. I added a written outline around here. So it'll kind of look like it was stamped, but we need to add some text. And I left this blank. I actually have a blank card like this, and then I will have this owl card if you want it. This, in the last video, I showed how to emboss this with the Cricut Explorer. So if you missed that video, I will try to put a link here or a link in the description for this video. It's just my last video. Okay, now we're going to add some words to here. And the first word is going to be owl. How many of you guessed that one? Let's bring the edit panel over. Change this to has a writing style. There we go. Let's go ahead and change the color just so we can see it better. And I don't know, I kind of like that one for this. I think I just might keep it to make it smaller. Okay, let's add another text. And my second word is never. Owl, never. You guys guessing what I'm making out? Forget you. Actually, I might do this in, I don't like that G down there like that. And make this line spacing different. So over here, I want the lines to be closer, not further. Yeah, it's a little too close. Okay. Because I want that closer, we're just going to get rid of that word. And I'm going to add another text box for the U. So I can place it exactly where I want it. There. I'll never forget you. They're not ready to go because they're not attached to these. So we have to go over to the layers. Now if I attach it to these two together, it's going to put these on top of each other. I do not want these two pieces of I don't want the top attached to the shadow. They're grouped. I don't want them attached. And that is all right. I need to ungroup. See, and now it went down. Okay, and that is just attached to this. We gotta find our owl. Of course, it's this one. And we have to bring this to the top. There, now we can see it. And now it's on top here. And I'm going to hold down my Command key on a Mac or Control on a PC. And we're going to click this. See, it's highlighted. And click this. This is only the top pennant with the outline. Don't know if you can see it. It's like in gray. And we're going to hit attach. There we go. Now we're going to do that. Now if we want to group it together, see it's not grouped with that. If you want to group it together, which really isn't necessary, you can hold down the Control key again and hit group. I'm not going to group them all together. I'm going to attach these two together. I'm just attaching the two words together. Okay, now we have to ungroup the pennant, and that makes all the words on bottom, because anytime you group or ungroup or attach something, it brings it to the top layer. So because I ungrouped, it brought it to the top layer and you can no longer see the writing. It's still there. You can always find it in the layers panel. Bring it to the top before you attach it. And we're going to attach it to this. Okay, now we need to ungroup this one. Bring this to the top. And attach. Okay, so now if we move these, they should all be okay. Now it doesn't matter if these are attached to that or grouped. Okay, those are all grouped, so we should be good to go. Hit go, and we will be ready to cut. See, these will cut right on top of there. And I always like to look at everything and make sure it's all good to go. And it is. And this is my last one to cut, and I already did that, so I don't have to cut that one. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to put it all together. Okay, here's the card. I have to put it all together, and I'll show you how to fold it and everything, but I'm going to use some chalks. So I'm going to use some chalks on the owl here. And a lot of people ask, do you have a video on chalks? Well, I have lots of videos on chalks. They're not just on chalk. They're in my projects. I use chalk sometimes. Let's use this one. If I can find a link to this, I'll put a link to these chalks. These are earth tones. I've never used these. These are new ones. I got those while I was in New York. But if I find a link online, I will share it. Here's what I do. You just put some chalk on there and rub the edge. You can put as much or as little as you want. Some people ask why you do this. Well, sometimes it just gives it a little shading, makes it more 3D looking, finishes the look. makes it seem more real. Do a little darker color on this part. And this tool comes with these. Some people have asked me where I got this tool. It comes with the chalk. You could ink the edges also. Okay, now I'm going to use some brown. And mix these lighter and darker. And I'm going to go around the edge of this. If you missed my last video, I showed how I embossed this, the Cricut Explorer. I used an embossing pen in my Explorer, and you can click on the link. I'll add a link in here or put it in the description if you can't click on the links. It's the last video before this one. I'm going to go over this just a little bit. It will not color the embossed area. Okay, now I'm going to go over around this one. Okay, now I'm going to use this set to go over my sky paper. And you can't see on camera, but that adds just a little bit of an edge, and it's kind of glittery. We all know I like glitter. Okay, let's get this card put together. Let me show you how it folds. This is the card, how it comes. There's a score line right here and right here. Okay, this is 10 1/4 inches wide. This score line is 4 1/4 inches from this edge. And these are 3 inches wide each between the score lines. So the first score line is this one, and we're going to fold this back. It's going to fold right on that line that's scored, right on the edge of the cutouts. And then this one is going to score like this. And this is going to be the front of the card. Okay? So it's going to be a mountain fold and a valley fold, and it's going to look like an S or a Z. But from the top it looks like an S. I guess it depends on which way you do it. Okay. Let's get started. I'm going to put this on first. Okay, the ATG gun is too big. Got too close to the edge here for these little pieces here, but we have to stick those down. They have to be stuck down, so you have to put glue or something. This is a fine tip glue pen. Making sure that gets on there. And these are really hard. You want to line these up with the boxes first. And then everything else should fit. Good. Okay. I love that embossing. For our tags, we have 3, or tabs, or pennants, flags. They're called so many different things. Okay, these we have to stick down onto here. What I'm going to do is put adhesive right on the card. I have this folded down just so I know where to put it. If you put the adhesive on the back of these, it's going to be hard to know how far to go because you don't want to put it to the end or it'll stick down to this paper. It's not what you want. Then press this down and slide these in just how they go, and they fit right in there. So easy. And then I want to stick these to the top of here. I want to stick them all the way to the edge here so it shows some of the outline of the bottom layer there. Now when putting these down, you can put adhesive on the whole thing. And I'm holding this down and just bumping this right up into the back of that. There we go. Now let's get the owl put together. Little Pac-Man eyes. There we go. And definitely need to use strong adhesive on here, put on top of the embossing. And I want to put it so the feet look like they're standing. Oops, I forgot. I want this to hang over the edge. So I'm going to take some of this adhesive off just by rubbing it. Put adhesive just on the one side. And there's your card. It says, I'll never forget you. You can put anything you want here. You can put happy birthday to you, I miss you, I'll always love you. You know, it can be anything you want. And I do have the base file for this available for my Patreons, so they can create their own card with their own words. And I also have this one available for those of you that have the art booking cartridge. I'll put a link below to the art booking cartridge. If you want to buy that cartridge, you have to have the whole cartridge. You can't just buy images from it. The owl and this part is from that cartridge. So there's my card. Isn't it cute? Thanks for watching, guys. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Thanks for watching, everyone, and here's a shout-out to some of my supporters on Patreon. Nicole Beasley-Becker, Chris Zook, Carmen Case-Peters, Diane Potter, Chris Mucha, Sherry Phillips-Martin, Diana, Wanda Dodd, Ann Length, and Gail Quava.